Well, now that I got your attention, good morrow, Wolfpack, Decide the Spanish Jaguar, and welcome back to Monthly Favorites, where I tell you about all the stuff I've been watching, playing, and listening to. Now, this is for the month of April of 2016, which I know is very late, but hey, Game Paralysis wasn't around back in April. I mean, it's not like Doc Brown was just around where he could be like, George, make Game Paralysis right now. Back to the Future! I've never actually watched Back to the Future, but it is on the list, so someday I will get to it. Podcasts! I recommend Screen Junkies' podcast, which is called Movie Fights. It's where real nerds get into real fights about fake movies, and it's probably my second favorite podcast of all time. I've never missed an episode. And if there are some of you out there who want to get into movies but are not really sure how, then I definitely recommend start listening to Movie Fights. Another podcast I'd recommend is called The Unpopular Kids, which is run by the Jovenshire and Flitz from Smosh Games. Their podcast really revolves around nerdy stuff like movies, video games, comic books, etc. They have cool guests on all the time, and you know, if you're really already a fan of them, then I definitely recommend start listening to their podcast. But I mean, even if you're not a fan of them and really don't know who they are, you might still be into it. It's very nerdy stuff, you know, unpopular opinions and stuff like that. Music. Now, I'm not that really much of a music person, but I do like that song Let It Go by James Bay. So come on, let it go, just let it be. And I also like that song Hideaway by Daya, I believe that's really how you pronounce that. Some boys like the girls who go on for their first date. Well, I don't it's whatever. Don't expect much from this section. YouTube. So I finally found the guy who makes the instrumental music that a lot of popular YouTubers use. I mean, you might be hearing some of it in this video right now, and it's also like, you know how a lot of YouTubers put the ukulele music? Yeah, this is that guy. He is Kevin MacLeod. The man is a genius. When I found him recently, I was going through just like a bunch of his music and it was just like, wow, I really dig a lot of it. So of course I downloaded a bunch of it and will be using it in tons of future videos. Oh, and by the way, if you're ever watching a video on Project Paradox and you want to know what the name of the song is that I'm using in the video, then I always leave it in the description, so check it out. And it'll most likely be from him, because I'm definitely going to use a lot of it, like I said before, but there may be other stuff that I find that I can use because it's royalty free and it fits in the theme of the video, so I'm just going to stop talking now because I've rambled enough about this. Another channel I've been watching a lot lately is called CinemaSins. Now, yes, they are a huge YouTube channel, but if you don't know who they are, they basically nitpick every movie and what's wrong with it. They do everything wrong with, like, The Avengers, for example, and that series. And you know, they do get a lot of flack for being, like, pretty much assholes, but you know what, sometimes you gotta put a mirror in front of Hollywood's face so that they can see what they're doing. Look at yourself, Holly! Okay? Stop it. Stop it. Enough. Video games. So I've gotten back into Mario Luigi Paper Jam, and you know, not because this is a good game, it's because I'm a bit of a completionist and I want to play it all the way through, and to prove that my opinion is right about it, and it has so much potential, but it's not that good. I haven't beat it yet, and I don't think I'm close. I think I'm halfway through. I'm right at the Wiggler boss, and I've tried it a few times, and he's tough. Like I'll give the credit to the bosses in this one are pretty tough, but I mean, everything else is just pretty bland. I mean, that's it. They got their bosses right, because these motherfuckers are tough. Okay. Another video game I was playing a lot in April is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And nay, not the HD version that just came out recently, the Wii version. And now, I have beef with this game. So to go back in a little bit in history, I bought this game. This is my first Legend of Zelda game 4 years ago. I recently got it back to my junior year in high school, and I still haven't beat it all the way through yet. It was very on and off. I would just get stuck in a part. I was like, eh. Then I put it away in my closet, and then a few months later I would get it back out. I was like, all right, continue the game. But then recently I was like, okay, fine. We have to finish this game once and for all right now. But what happened was that I'm at the part where you find the sky cannon that takes you to the sky temple, I'm assuming, and you're with this guy, I forget his name, Shad or Shane or something along the lines of that. But anyway, you have to talk to them so that he can leave the room so that Midna can warp you out of there. But he glitched out of the game. He glitched out of my game, so now I can't talk to him. And I talked to Midna, I was like, I can't do anything. He's still in the room. And basically what you're supposed to do is tell him, like, alright, can you skedaddle? And then he'll skedaddle, but he's not there, so I can't talk to him. And it's not like I can leave the room and try to come back in again so that he's there, because when I try to leave the room, it's like, oh, Link, where are you going? Like, you can see him talking, but then when you come back to Link, he's gone. Like, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, I just went on a tangent right there, but I mean, you get what I mean. It's upsetting. That was my first Legend of Zelda game. Like, I played other Legend of Zelda games in between, like, since then. Like, I've beaten Ocarina of Time and A Link Between Worlds since then. I have other Legend of Zelda games I have to get through. I have Skyward Sword and Wind Waker, and I still need to play those. But I wanted to do this one, but now I can't, because now what the plan is, I'm gonna burn that and just wait until I feel like getting the HD version. I'm not gonna get it yet because I want to rest from this game again, but because I have to start away from the beginning now, because this sucks. That's what I would have to do if I had this, but if I were to do it in the Wii version, then it still might glitch out by the time I get there. And do you realize how infuriating that would be if I had played this game all over again and he's not there again? I'm not risking it, I'm just gonna get the HD version. So hopefully that glitch, if that glitch is there again, I'm gonna blow up Switzerland. Sorry, terrorist. I'm sorry, I'm not a terrorist. I need it. Let's just move on. Get away from video games. Just move on. Fuck it. Movies. Now this month I actually watched a lot of movies. I usually don't do that. I usually watch, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4. But this month I got to actually through either 11 or 12. I missed count. I'm not really sure off the top of my head. And so obviously I can't talk about every single one in detail, so what I decided to do, I'm going to put it in a speed round type of format, and I'll leave my rating right here for you so that you can see as I talk about the movie. And just to make things more fun, I am going to put a timer in one of these corners, whichever one I feel like it, just to see how long it takes actually to see me go through every single movie. So without further ado, here we go. Zootopia is a great animated movie tackling harsh topics like racism and following your dreams. Big Hero 6 is a good superhero animated movie, though it is not better than The Incredibles. Everything Must Go is a drama starring Will Ferrell, and he does not have one funny moment, which is odd because he is one of the best comedic actors of our time, so you would never guess that just if you only saw him for this film. Hardcore Henry is a first-person point of view action movie, and you won't get as many headaches as you think you would, and it is an experiment gone good. The Boss is Melissa McCarthy's newest comedy, and it's not better than Spy. Beasts of No Nation is a movie on Netflix representing the story of what it's like for children in Africa during the middle of a war, and it is incredible and looks just beautiful. 12 Years a Slave is an Oscar movie, and I couldn't finish it, to be honest with you. I was quite bored. The Jungle Book, the new live-action one, is surprisingly good and gives me total confidence in the lineup that Disney has for its next live-action movies in the next few years. The Barbershop franchise is not some of Ice Cube's best work, but the third one that just came out is surprisingly good, even though that the second installment was made like over 12 years ago. Concussion was another Oscar movie starring Will Smith, and honestly, the trailer tells you all you need to know about it, so you don't really need to watch it unless you want to watch Will Smith do an African accent for 2 hours. Hateful Eight is Tarantino's new movie, and though it is a very good movie, it's not the best Tarantino movie. I'd put it like somewhere in the middle of his lineup. And finally, Hush is a horror movie on Netflix about a deaf woman trying to survive a serial killer. And you know what? It's not that scary, but it is still a good movie. Whew. I know, it's such a random list of movies. I don't know, I pretty much enjoyed watching all of them. TV shows. So in April, I caught up on season 6 of The Walking Dead, and you know, I would have just waited until Netflix put it up, but this is like the most talked about show in the world right now, so of course, many people just spoiled what was happening over social media. I was like, damn it! So it just pissed me off, so I just fine, I'm just watching it now then. And I even made a theory video on the season 6 finale over on Project Paradox, so if you want to check that video out, it'll be on that eye right over there. Hopefully I'm correct. I keep forgetting where they put the eye. But, yeah, and a lot of people watched it, so why not join that hype train? Another show I watched in April was The Office, and it is hilarious. This was my first time watching this show, actually, and I really loved the writing for it. Like, it was so funny, and a cringe fest, a complete cringe fest to the show was. English, I can speak. The show's last season was wrapped up, in my opinion, extremely well, and it was perfect. Like, you cannot ask for a better ending for The Office than what they actually did. They really put everything out there. I had the feels. I was just like, oh. And the last show I binged this month was Animaniacs. Netflix just put this series up, and I started watching it immediately. Now, I don't remember if I actually watched it as a kid. I do remember, though, watching the movie Wacko's Wish, which I do now want to watch again, since Animaniacs is fresh in my head now. Really good animated series, and I highly rec. It's a high rec. Highly recommend it. And now for the best thing. In the first weekend of April, I actually visited Washington, D.C., and this was my first time going there. And I decided to go by myself because I just wanted to get away from everything that's going on here, and also I wanted to explore somewhere new, somewhere I haven't been before. And I actually vlogged all 3 days, so if you want to check out those vlogs, they're on the main channel Project Paradox, so click that I. Once again, don't you just love all the self-promotion I'm doing? But anyway, thank you all for watching, liking, and commenting, and subscribing and part of the Wolfpack today. Let me know down in the comments what you've been watching, what movies have you been into, and video games you've been playing, and all that type of ish, and any recommendations you have for me, and yeah. Also, my May monthly favorites are going to be up in a couple weeks so that I can catch up with these monthly favorite videos. Well, it's time for this lone wolf to roll out. Oh!